It's a timeless story.
People keep going back to it throughout their lives.
We're going to see things differently now.
The stories stay with us and keep wanting to be repeated.
Apple Mark, Bigger Mark, Charlie Mark, Mark.
Little Women.
Hi, my lovely English learners. As soon as Barbie got released, everyone has been talking that, oh my god, the director of Barbie is Greta Gerwig, the one who made The Little Women.
When I heard that they were going to make the movie, I went into Sony and I said, you have to hire me because this is everything for me.
That's the story that has been living with us for over 150 years since the time that the book has been written. So what was the life of women over 150 years ago?
As a woman, there's no way for me to make my own money. Not enough to earn a living or to support my family.
Women couldn't have any rights for having their own business, developing their own career.
It's not just that women couldn't vote. It's not just that they couldn't own property. They couldn't. It's that they didn't own anything and that they legally couldn't.
And if I had my own money, which I don't, that money would belong to my husband the moment we got married. And if we had children, they would be his, not mine.
That's why they had to rely only on a marriage.
But the world is hard on ambitious girls.
So marriage at that time was kind of like the economic merge between man and a woman, and the wealthier man was, the better life and the better future the woman could have.
It's also a movie about somebody becoming fiercely independent in a time where that was unheard of, and what you have to do in order to be successful.
This movie had so many adaptations. The first one is in 1917, 33, 1949, theater adaptation, opera adaptations. There is even a Japanese TV show, and there is a great film of 1994 that remained the modern Little Women until 2019, when actually Greta Gerwig depicted it in the way that we can all call a masterpiece. What kind of a great job she did. Greta had to go through all the different adaptations and make it different and interesting and teary and emotional to our today's generation, and she did it. So what was the difference in her approach?
The way it's structured is there's just two different origin points of the story, but everything moves forward. So one starts in 1868 and everything moves forward, and one starts in 1861 and everything moves forward.
The way the book was written, it was written in two books. In the first book, which is the childhood part, the second book is the adult part, 8 years later. And they're really twins and they're companions.
The movie starts with them as grown-ups, having the lives that they've chosen, and we go back and forth in time.
I would suggest this movie for intermediate or even upper intermediate students, and today I've got for you great, amazing vocabulary that you can enlarge your English up to the fluent level and be able to use it in your everyday English practice.
This is Meg, Amy, Beth, and Joe.
Jo is living in New York, working as a teacher, and at the same time she's writing short stories that she would like to sell. Every time Jo has an idea about her story, she immediately writes it down.
You're on fire.
Thank you.
Why she doesn't react? Because the expression to be on fire has a straight meaning. It's actually physically, yes, to be burning, to be on fire, and has a different meaning.
To be on fire, a phrase, to do something extremely well, be excited, inspired, passionate, or enthusiastic about what you do.
to be amazing at what you are doing. She assumed that he is actually kind of like complimenting her, saying, oh, you are very passionate about what you're doing, or very enthusiastic about what you're doing.
You're on fire!
Thank you.
I have the same habit, you see?
A habit, level B1, something you do without thinking about it, or you often do especially as part of your work or daily life.
Always working.
My sister Amy's in Paris, and until she marries someone obscenely wealthy, it's up to me to keep the family afloat.
To become wealthy, yes, it's become rich, is to have a lot of money. We understand. But what is it to become obscenely wealthy?
Obscene, level C2, extremely unfair, immoral, or offensive in a way that can make you angry, especially because it's too large.
To have as much money as it even looks offensive, or to be offensive, rude, or shocking because it relates to sex or it's showing sex. Joe has to work a lot to keep the family afloat.
Afloat, level B2, to have enough money to pay what you owe.
You can keep afloat, yes, to be on the same level of making money and pay what you have to pay, or stay afloat, to do something to be on the same position of paying what you owe. Straight away we see her sister, Amy.
Are you chasing some young girl across Europe?
No.
I couldn't believe Joe turned you down. I'm so sorry.
Don't be, Amy. I'm not.
This is the phrase. Yes, it's a phrasal verb. When we talk about an object, we can say, can you please turn the music down? Which means to make it lower, to reduce its sound. We can also say to turn lights down. Yes, when the lights are too bright, so we can gleam them a little bit. But when we are talking about the person, it means we reject, we say no to the person.
Amy March! You come back here right this instant.
March.
Come to the New Year's Eve party. It's a ball and everyone will be there, including Fred.
What it means, this instant, yes? So it means immediately, it means right this second. C1 and C2 level. So you can say come back right now, come back in a jiffy. There is also an expression which means super fast, or this instant. We are getting to know the third sister, Meg.
I just can't. He'll be so pleased with how you look. He'll forget all about the expense.
$50. What was I thinking?
Oh, my loves.
Expense, level B2, the amount of money that you spend on something. The use of money, time, or effort.
We are going back to the past, to the events that happened 7 years before.
Perfect ringlet.
Joe and Meg, the oldest, are getting ready for the ball.
Don't stare, don't put your hands behind your back. Don't say Christopher Columbus, don't say capital. Don't shake hands. Don't whistle.
Don't say Christopher Columbus and don't say capital. Why? Interesting, yes. We know that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Oh, Christopher Columbus, it was something, wow, it was something amazing. And what about the word capital? Because we know today that the capital is the main city, political city of the country. I'm in Canada now, so the capital of Canada is Ottawa. In old-fashioned way, it had the meaning to be excellent. No one is using the word capital in the meaning of super, in the meaning of awesome or great.
I won't disturb you.
No, I don't know many people here. I felt rather strange at first, you know.
She met Lori.
I've spent most of my life in Europe.
Europe! Oh, that's capital! Shouldn't use words like that.
Says who?
Disturb, level B2, to interrupt what someone is doing. To cause someone to be worried or upset.
To interrupt basically has the same meaning. To make someone stop what they were doing. So what is the difference between to disturb someone and to interrupt someone? So when you are interrupted, usually it's a conversation in most of the times. It's for a short period of time when you probably has something urgent to say, or you are eager to say something. So you're like, sorry to interrupt, and you just make a short remark and people can continue, doing something. And disturbing, for example, you have the noise outside. Someone is playing the musical instrument or the children running around. All of that disturbs you from what you are doing. And it's not a short period of time. This is the little difference between these two words.
I enjoy baking in the middle of the night, and don't mind the clutter, Mr. Lawrence. We don't.
Lori, please.
As she's been doing something, probably there were things all around the kitchen, yes? So the things were in disorder. Clutter means a state of being untidy. So we continue with the things happening in the future.
I despise you.
Why do you despise me?
Because with every chance of being good, happy, and useful, you are lazy, faulty, and miserable.
Interesting.
Despise. Level C1. To feel a strong dislike for someone or something that you think is bad or worthless.
Not to like someone, not to approve someone's actions, and not to be fond of the person and what he is doing. Yes, to have a low opinion about him. There are the words in English that can't really be used in grammar in the progressive tense, in the continuous tense. If you don't like something, you don't like. It's a fact. It's not the process at this particular moment. That's why don't make a mistake, and please try not to use this word in the progressive tense.
Am I selfish?
Yes, very selfish. With your money, talent, beauty, and health.
Ooh, you think I'm beautiful.
Yes, you like that, you old vanity.
Vanity. Level C2. The fact that you are too interested in your appearance or achievements.
With all these good things to enjoy, you can find nothing to do but dawdle.
Why she's saying like that? Because she doesn't have that luxury and that money and that position, same as he does. With the word dawdle, she wants to say that you do something very slowly. You take more time than necessary to achieve what you were supposed to achieve long time ago.
I want to be an artist in Rome and be the best painter in the world.
It's what you want too, isn't it, Joe, to be a famous writer?
Yes, but it sounds so crass when she says it.
Crass. Level C1. Stupid and without considering how other people might feel. Offensive in manner or style.
To do something without thinking what other people think about it or how people would take it. Being famous doesn't come just out of any painting, yes? So you have to show the world that you are talented and you are creative and you have something that others don't have. That's what she means with the word crass.
Well, so the only way to be an unmarried woman is to be rich.
Yes,
But there are precious few ways for women to make money.
that's not true.
Precious. Level B2. Valuable and important and should not be wasted or used without care.
That's why you should heed me.
Yeah, so I can get married.
No, so you can live a better life than your poor mother has.
Heed is another synonym for the word attention. Yes, pay attention and pay heed. Both these words, precious and heed, we've learned already when we were watching the movie The Lord of the Rings, with amazing upper level vocabulary and great grammar explanations as well.
When I get in a passion, I get so savage I could hurt anyone, and I'd enjoy it.
She doesn't understand how she turns into a savage. She can hurt other people. So who is a savage person?
Savage. Level B2. Very violent or cruel. Criticizing someone or something very severely.
I'm angry nearly every day of my life.
You are?
The conversation between her and her mom is incredible.
I'm not patient by nature. But with nearly 40 years of effort, I'm learning to not let it get the better of me.
There's a line where Marmee says to Joe, I'm angry almost every day of my life. That's from the book. She says that. That's such a modern thing for a mother to say to a daughter. And Amy says in the book, she says, I want to be great or nothing. That's not a line I made up.
There are some natures too noble to curb and too lofty to bend.
Noble is honest, brave, kind, amazing, yes? So there are some natures that are too good to curb.
Curb, level C2, to control or limit something that is not wanted, or to prevent from having a harmful effect.
Loft, we know that is something very high. Some natures are too high to bend. When we bend something, we change its shape. Some natures should remain the way they are because they are too great to be changed.
He is expecting you, so why don't you do it?
Natural depravity, I suppose.
Natural indolence, you mean?
Amy wants the best for him. That's why she is kind of like pushing him to do what he is supposed to do.
Go and work for your grandfather and make something of yourself.
You're not playing fair.
Because probably of my natural depravity. And she says, no, it's natural indolence.
Depravity, level C2, the state of being morally bad or morally unacceptable.
Being indolent, yes, it's showing no real interest or no efforts at all. Like, it's not because he's morally bad. No, he is actually morally good guy. But because he doesn't want to do it, he has no interests, he pays no attention to what his father is doing, that's why. That's the real reason. Amy has been courted by Fred Vance. She is on the cusp of making a decision, yes, to marry or not to marry.
I have been second to Joe my whole life in everything. And I will not be the person you settle for just because you cannot have her.
Settle for something or someone. A phrase. To agree to or accept something, although it is not what you want, or less than you hoped for. Mind that this expression is not used in passive voice.
You should be an actress and you should have a life on the stage. Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant.
This is a very, very powerful message over here because all of us, we all have different dreams, yes? And to be just the wife and the mother, it's also okay. There is nothing wrong with it.
I want a home and a family, and I'm willing to work and struggle, but I want to do it with John.
Struggle, level B2, to try extremely hard to achieve something, even though it is very difficult.
When you face problems, you face obstacles, you face difficulties in doing something, it can be anything, and sometimes they are bigger than you expect or bigger than you can handle, and that's the word struggle.
I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it.
It would be a disaster if we married.
It wouldn't be a
okay?
disaster.
We'd be miserable.
Joe, I'd be a perfect saint.
I can't, and you'd be ashamed of
I
me.
love you, Joe.
And we would quarrel, and we can't help it even now.
We've already learned this expression as well, but we've learned an expression, I can't help but. So when you say, for example, I can't help but laughing. I cannot do anything else except laughing. So that's the only thing I am able to do right now. But when you say that I can't help something or I can't help doing something, it means you cannot change it. You cannot change the behavior or the feeling, or you cannot prevent it. Yes, so it is what it is. So this is the slight difference between these two phrases, and both of them are correct, grammatically correct, and both of them exist.
Women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts.
I want to be great or nothing.
And they've got ambition and they've got talent as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it.
Fit somebody for something. A phrase. To make someone suitable for something or able to do something.
It doesn't matter how old the story is, it remains up to date, it remains modern, it is also relevant to our today's generation.
It's a testament to her writing and her spirit that Louisa wrote about a world we can all relate to.
See you very soon in the next video. Bye.
So, who does she marry?